Hello, everyone, and welcome once more to Red-Wolves and Ramparts, a very serious role-playing show where we play Dungeons and Dragons around a table. Hello, everyone, welcome back. I'm Reace Barnett, I'm your host and DM. Joining me at the table once more is John, Noah, Jacey, and Trey, playing their rogues gallery of characters so far. Last time we arrived at the city of Malport and we found ourselves stranded in the Cobalt Archipelago. As you were all getting accommodated to your rooms, a tussle outside suddenly broke out, and from that you met Rain, a priest of the Order of the Broken Slab. And though you managed to save the woman's life, Rain was off-put by that and wanted to learn more about your healing powers. But not before relieving himself, of course. So, after hurrying back to the temple to vomit, he asked you all to visit later. And that's where we'll be picking up. Right from that point. So, you're all standing in the middle of the street, the woman still lying at your feet, finishing signing the forms that Filefinder had given her. And she kind of looks up at all of you. Thank you. I don't know what happened exactly. There was a sound in the bushes nearby, and felt something in my neck. And then all I remember is that Rain was standing over me, and then you were standing over me, and you fixed me. Thank you.
Now, when you say all you remember, right, I think we can pull a little more out of that. So, no, you just had a near-death experience, but I would like to ask, did you feel anything anywhere else? Like, did someone grab you from behind? Did someone, like, hit you in the head or anything? Like,
or was it just like one motion?
One hit?
It was a piercing feeling in my neck, like
Right.
a arrow or something struck me.
Oh, by the way, that's going to be a little tender for the next couple days, so be careful with it. Don't like stretch too far or anything.
Okay, I can be more careful with that. Thank you.
Where were you standing when you got hit?
I was standing by that building over there. That's where my father-in-law lives. I was just finishing going and delivering something to the in-laws, and as I walked out, I walked past some bushes, and then suddenly, the searing pain, and I fell over.
Right. Can you point to the bushes?
I don't know which bushes specifically. It was just near the...
That's right.
Are there just bushes over there?
Yeah, the house is kind of on the edge of the tree line where it just sort of goes off into the forest behind there. The whole place around Marlfort is sort of this mixture of palm trees and thick brush that hasn't been fully tamed by the locals yet.
Okay, enough of these dumb questions. I have a very important question. Where is the best place to get your nails done on this island? I've seen nowhere.
Well, I do my own nails, but if you're looking specifically for someone to do them for you,
Quickly searches medieval nail shop.
there's a clothing store nearby called Tiny Font. Cannot read it.
I love that story.
I love tiny font.
I love that story.
The clothing store is named Textile and Style, and
Whoa.
it's run by a friend of mine, and she's a lot more fashion forward than I am personally. I'm sure that she can arrange something.
Can I go over to like the tree line and just start like looking around, see if there's anything?
Okay,
on the
make an
ground?
investigation check
Can
for
I
me.
help him?
Yeah, sure. You get advantage on that.
Okay. Investigation.
Advantage means that you roll the dice twice and you take what the best one of the two is.
19.
19, okay. As you begin kind of poring over the thrush and all of that, you begin to sort of look around and you notice broken twigs, disrupted bush. Your experience in the past, definitely somebody was here at some point in time. As you kind of look deep into the thrush, they didn't stick around very long after this attempt at assassination. They fled off into the woods after that. If you want to try to track the tracks, that'd be a survival check, but most of it is grass. There's not a lot of things to catch prints.
I'll wait for them to finish up.
Okay. Anything else that you guys want to talk to with the lady?
And thank you for the forms. And I'll just check with these.
You're welcome.
Everything looks good. Thank you.
Thank you. I probably wouldn't be breathing right now if it wasn't for you.
You would not.
Yes, thank you.
Have a
Watch
good
out for
day.
bushes. Yeah.
Yeah, bushes. They're dangerous apparently.
Bushes.
The whole city is surrounded by
Then stay indoors.
Like, what's the T? Do you have any enemies or something?
No,
Who are you, by the way? Did we ask your name?
Yeah.
Amelia.
Amelia.
That's a good thing to get. We should start asking people their names
In
first.
retrospect, I looked at your forms, and I should read the forms whenever I'm looking for signings. But yeah, thank you.
Wait, that's so true. We can just, if we collect forms from everyone, we have
Yeah.
their names and information.
Yeah. No, I don't have any enemies as far as I know. I mean, Jessica was upset with me the other day because I was late to work, but surely she wouldn't try to kill me for that.
How about your father-in-law? How's that?
I have a good relationship with my in-laws, yes.
All right.
After my
Great.
after my husband died, I tried to keep relationships with them going.
Okay. Yep. And we're moving on.
What about your parents, though?
They're dead.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Is there a chance that they're undead? Forget that.
Undead? What does that mean?
Whole lot of stuff happens on
Don't
this
worry
tiny
about it.
little island.
Yeah, you know. If we find out that's the situation, it'll be handled. You're okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
How old is this woman?
she looks to be in her rough 30s, somewhere around there, early 30s. Very timid, dressed kind of modestly with a pulled back brown bun for the back of her hair. She has no makeup on or anything like that. Appears to not really care about her appearance that much.
She's got bigger things to worry about.
Like being shot in the neck by a bush.
Get shot in the neck by a bush.
Yes, I suppose that I will.
Are you alright? Do you need anything else before you get on with your day and all that? I know you just almost died, but that happens.
Does it happen? That's never happened to me before, or anybody that I know of.
Trust me. After your 6th or 7th tomb incursion, you get used to getting poisoned. I'm an archaeologist, right? You go
I don't
into
know what
tombs.
that is. What is an archaeologist?
I go and I find old stuff in old places.
Grave
and I take
robber.
it out. No. See, there's a key difference here. I actually signed some paperwork from him about this a couple of weeks ago. See, I'm not allowed to remove anything that has cultural ties that could be preserved under the statutes of law. And it's all very technical, and it doesn't really matter. Basically, I'm not a grave robber. That's the important part.
Okay. Is that involving undead then?
Oh, it has before, but not ordinarily. Sometimes
I think that I need to go.
Go lie down.
Yes, I need to go and deal with.
And drink a lot of water.
Drink a lot of water.
Thank you. I will do that. Yes. Thank you again. Really, though you may all be strange. Thank you for saving me. With that, she kind of gets up and hurries her way back into the into her father-in-law's house that she had pointed out previously.
so I believe it's safe to say this kind of thing doesn't happen normally here.
I don't think so, which is really weird. Or are we the weird ones?
We might be the weird ones.
If a 30-year-old woman's lost her mom, her dad, and her husband, I mean, something's got to be happening, right?
Well, I mean, it is a port town, so, sailing's historically a dangerous job.
We should have asked her.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Did you want to further investigate that?
Yes,
Okay.
I found some markings of where the person would have been. I believe that they would have ran into the woods if we want to go try to find their path.
I'd love to look for some pathing through the woods.
All right. Make a survival check for me.
Can I get some help looking?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Do you have a high wisdom, don't
Who
you?
has the highest?
do, yeah.
Okay, you might actually want to probably.
You know what? I don't want to, brag, but I was actually a Leaf Scout. Go out camping in the woods and stuff like that.
Makes sense.
course.
Makes
So-
sense. All right.
I'll guide the way.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If anyone would like to help me, though, I would
I'll
appreciate
absolutely help you.
it. Ooh, natural 20.
Yay!
23.
Natural 20! Yay! It happened. So as you begin to kind of like poke around the bushes and such, you find it, the one thing you were looking for, a footprint. As you begin to scour through the bits of, tiny little bits of mud and dirt that are around there that's not covered in grass, you begin to kind of look closer at it. And it's weird. It's not a regular like boot print. It's webbed.
Sandals.
Not quite webbed like that. As in webbed like frog-like or
Aquatic.
reptilian.
Frog sandals. I knew it.
Do you have shoes that look like frog feet?
No, I'm a No, that's weird.
Oh.
Obviously, the person that has frog feet flipper shoes is weird. I mean,
Okay.
that
Yeah,
would
you
be
can't
weird.
really tell if it's frog or like a fish person. It's like weird, like just webbing in between the toes, and just like a regular foot, but with webbing in between it.
Is it only the one thing of footprints?
There's like one footprint, and then you have to like estimate a path a little ways, and then you find like the rest of the trail as it kind of picks up a little bit, and it leads off farther along.
Okay. And it only seems like one creature.
And it's not just like heading into the ocean.
No, it's heading
good.
it's heading straight like into land, like through the thrush, outside of the town. It doesn't seem to be doubling back.
All right, everybody guard your necks. We know these bushes can shoot. All right, stay low. Follow me.
All right,
Stay
so are you
low.
going to be making a stealth check, or are you just gonna
No, it's,
okay, stay on your feet?
Yeah.
All right. As you all begin to single-filedly follow behind the halfling moving throughout the forest, for you especially, it's a little difficult because he ducks and weaves under branches that thwack you in the face as soon as you try to move through.
All right.
And as you move your way through the forest, you find yourself at a small clearing where some of the palm trees and roots and thrush ease away a little bit. As you begin kind of looking through, the trail just sort of pitters off a little bit. At some point, there's this huge pile of mud that you'd expect there would be footprints through, but they just sort of stop.
So there should be footprints here.
Yeah, that seems to be weird.
Can I take my sword and start just poking down into the mud?
You unsheath one of your scimitars and you delicately begin to sort of slide it in. And as you put the initial first one in, it just keeps going down quite a ways, all the way to the hilt. You pull it back out and it's coated in mud now, and you wipe it
All right.
off on the grass.
Well, this is quite deep.
So I would volunteer to jump in, but I am in full scale mail right now, and I think I would drown in mud. So
I think you're the lightest.
I'm the lightest, so I've got to go down into the mud pit. That's how this works. I know better than ask you, but yeah. Right. Start taking the satchel pack off and all of the little extremities. Get down to just the bare turkin and. Okay.
All
Start
right. You just,
wading down into the mud.
as you get into the initial bits, it's relatively shallow until suddenly you put your foot out to go farther and it just drops. There's no more ground in front of you. As you try to kind of reach down further. Oh, there goes the mic.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We good? Hello? There we go. Sorry about that. As you go to wade further in with your foot, it just drops off. Just no ground to put your feet on.
For clarity, this is not, it's not like solid packed mud. This is like muddy water.
This is like almost like quicksand, but it's not pulling you in.
That's great. Ideal.
It's very not thick, but it is very murky and dirt filled.
I can do a lot of things. But hold my breath for a long time is not one of them.
Yeah, how's it going down there?
It's very wet.
How's the temperature?
It's cold.
It's very cold.
Oh, and that sounds rough.
I've been through worse.
Oh.
Well, I'm rooting
Fling
for
the
you.
hat at you.
Oh,
Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Saving throw or ability?
Either acrobatics or sleight of hand. Just
Let's see if I have any of those. Oh, it's just gonna be the same. Oh, 17.
oh, okay. So he chucks the hat at you and manages to catch it before it hits you in the head.
Thanks.
you're welcome.
Before I dive down into the mud, I pull out this little like carved artifact necklace thing that I've got, and I tap it to my forehead, and you see a little like kind of dull green spark come off of it, and I just dive headfirst down into the mud.
As you dive down in, the first thing that kind of catches you is that your horns provide a little bit of resistance as you move your head down in. But as you kind of rotate it in the right direction, it streamlines a little bit more, makes it a little bit more dynamic to go through the mud. And as you're moving downwards, I want you to make a Constitution saving throw for holding your breath.
We're gonna see how this goes. Okay, that is. Let's see. Oh, that's not actually bad. That's a dry 20.
Okay, 20 the hard way.
Yeah.
So, you're not entirely unfamiliar with holding your breath. You've
I've done it.
definitely had some instances in which you've had to do that. So, all that's really different here is that you just can't see anything. It is just so, like, utterly thick, and opening your eyes, it's painful to do so. So you just kind of keep them shut as you begin delving down and down and down. You're starting to lose track of how many feet it's been, but it's been quite a bit. And at some point you begin to kind of get that sort of feeling of, am I still going down? Or am I like somehow rotated? As you begin to move downwards further, do you want to continue sort of delving, or do you want to try to go back up?
But can I sense at all how far I've gone?
At first, it felt like, 5 feet, 6 feet. It feels like you were just going into the deep end of a pool, but you kind of crossed that like 9-foot barrier and lost where your sort of like depth is to some degrees. Because again, you have no sight right now, and it's just mud in your ears and throwing off all of your senses. So as you're trying to delve deeper, it gets harder to remember how far you've gone exactly.
I'll do it. I'll go
Okay.
further.
Another Constitution check for saving throw for holding your breath further.
That is significantly worse. But
I had a cousin that died doing this.
Well,
you say this now, so that is.
This is like really dangerous.
how often have you been around people that have jumped into mud pits?
Well, there's my cousin. Which he only did it because like he's one of those guys that like
11.
dives in and does
11.
piping.
Okay.
significantly worse.
So as you begin to sort of go deeper, you feel your lungs kind of begin to like not fill with water, but they start to like get compressed a little bit more. And with that, you feel your grip of holding your breath start to weaken a lot more. You can try to continue, but at that point you'd be risking it.
I'm not suffocating.
You're not suffocating currently, but you are feeling like you're losing air pretty quick.
All right.
And at this point, again, it's just deep. You've gone so far down.
I'm going to go for the Hail Mary, I guess.
Okay. Roll a Constitution saving throw with
before
disadvantage.
before I go further down.
Okay.
I'm going to kind of like fling myself as far back as I can, and I pull out what looks well, no one can see this. I pull out something and grip it in my hand through the mud, and I push my hand forward, and I'm going to cast Thunder Wave straight up
Okay.
to try and blast some mud off of me.
All right. So, are you trying to blast your way downwards further, or are you
Trying to
just trying
blast
to go
the
back?
hole to the surface.
Okay, so you're trying to go back up. As you feel the magic begin to sort of course through you, you hold out your hand, and from there, the sound wave just boom. To you guys up above, suddenly you just see this massive bubble just up at the surface, but underneath it, though it's muffled by the mud, it sounds like this horrendous, thunderous boom, and it manages to knock this sort of air bubble for 1 second. Not air, though. It's like a
Right.
vacuum. You knock this like bubble out from around you, and you have this brief moment where you can kind of open your eyes and you see just this muddy like surface tension all around you, and you look around to try to see, because as it slowly begins coming back in, it's a little bit more viscous now as you've kind of just like stirred up the dirt around it. As it comes back in slower, you look around, you look down at like sort of your waist that is still kind of trapped in there, and as you do, you see suddenly an eye looking up at you. It begins to dilate.
That's good.
And you see it suddenly just down further into the mud.
Surface now.
You crawl your way back up, and as you do, you get this big, deep breath, finally filling back up your lungs. You're just drenched in mud right now. You see this brown figure emerge from this mud pile, his horns just caked in it and dripping as he pulls himself back up to the surface.
Yep, it's down there. It's down there.
Oh, you lived. Oh.
Barely.
Bravo.
Yeah. I mean, I thought about it. I was actually about to bring it up. We probably should have gave him something to like signal us.
Oh, that would
When to
have been
pull.
smart.
Yeah. That would have been good.
Yeah.
You know, hindsight.
You guys have rope, right?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
yeah.
on the rope.
yeah.
Like,
Didn't use
like
it.
3 tugs,
rope.
pull me up, that
Needs
kind of
rope.
thing.
Nobody needs rope.
So, I found something down there, and it went deeper. But I was about
see.
to die, so
Like-
I can't make it up.
What was that bubble?
I might have shot off a little bit of secret artifact magic.
Ah.
I was trying to get some air, but it didn't work.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Anyway, so this thing, right? It had an eye. Didn't seem to mind the mud or like not having air. And it went further down. So I don't know how we're gonna get it out.
You would think that there would be another way in somewhere. Possibly.
If it can breathe in the mud, probably not. If this is just like its den.
I mean, or it's just really good at holding its breath, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're throwing out ideas,
Yeah.
there could be.
I mean, either way, it can go in the mud and we can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I have no idea. I guess we could look around the area if everybody wants to fan out.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So I want everyone who's going to be investigating to make an investigation check for me.
4.
Ooh. Okay.
Not the brightest.
Do we add anything to that?
Your investigation bonus, whatever it says on your skills for investigation.
Should be right under
19.
Okay. Wow.
13.
13.
17.
All right. So you three do a pretty good job. Don't know
I'm
what,
still looking
don't know
at
what
the
Al's
mud.
doing
I'm just
over
like,
here. He's just like, oh, okay. Mud.
Mud.
Mud's pretty cool. The three of you fan out and begin sort of looking around the surrounding area. You sort of begin to like retrace back the footsteps and try to like look around to see if there's any other ones. You, as you're beginning to sort of trace the like tree line, you notice that there's quite a bit of like felon trees, almost like beavers, perhaps? But the problem is that none of them have the like beaver chew marks. All of them have been cut like with a sharp object. seems like there are a lot of stumps laying around, but not a lot of the tops of trees. As you begin to look around, you go down this hill sort of area, and as you begin poking around, you see there's this sort of mudslide area in the side of the hill that has rocks set up methodically, almost in sort of like a door shape, but it's just thick mud right all the way through. Almost like there should be a doorway there, but it's been like filled with mud.
Well, I have a shovel. That's all I got.
That's going to be very helpful.
I mean, what's better? I mean, either that or we stake it out. That's all I got. Are we trying to find this thing? Do we care?
I mean, it'd probably be good. This might be a lead on the cure. We just know that somebody has it, right?
Yeah.
We don't know exactly who, so it could be. Like mud monsters. Yeah.
Mud monsters.
Magic mud.
Magic mud. Magic mud monsters.
The mud monsters.
Maybe the cure is just the friendships we make along the way.
I don't think that he would accept that. But you could try.
Oh.
It was a great vacation.
We're all not sick and we're friends now, so that's worked out. Apparently, you should just try that.
Also,
I'm sure Randall would be just like, that doesn't help fix the problem. But yeah, sure, thanks.
how do we tell Randall that we have the cure? Because he just said if we don't find it, then he's not coming back. So how do we tell him that we've got it?
That's a good point.
I mean, I just assumed that we'd bring it
To where?
to him.
Well, he's gone.
Did he leave?
Yeah.
Does this island not have a postal service?
UPS.
Snail mail. Apparently, shipments come in just very sparingly.
very sparingly, apparently.
Well, we could probably hitch a
It
ride
is-
on one of those
It
if we
is
really want to
a
leave.
island in the middle of bum nowhere, pretty much. So
See, I would say someone's probably got sending, but apparently I'm one of the strongest magical users here. So,
That's true.
oh my.
Might not be so possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think about this one.
all right. So after discussing this and finding this mud entrance, what is your plan?
What is our plan? That is a great.
You said you have a shovel. If we want, we could try to dig out.
That is one thing, is that the mud in this sort of false doorway is considerably more packed in than it was up there. It's not watery, it's just thick piled on mud.
Yeah, that is not as easy. Now, we could. Here's the thing: we can either dig here or dig over there. If we dig over there, it's going to fill itself in faster, but it's going to be easier work. So.
Yeah, but here, we could just take turns, and then other people could just have a picnic on that hill right there.
That's a good point. I like
Take
that.
shifts.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm taking a picnic first, though.
I
Pull
mean,
the shovel out.
I'll take the
Go over.
shovel. I guess
Start
I'll get
cleaning.
to work.
Start cleaning the packed mud off.
Make a athletics check for me.
The one thing I'm good at. Is 22.
Nice. Okay. So, grabbing this sort of fold-out shovel, you kind of begin to chip away around the doorway, and as you start to get the first couple of hits in, the last one, you kind of pull back the mud a little bit. It's not very thick. It's probably about 2 feet or so thick with mud. So as you kind of hit it, you sort of just hit it with your shoulder, and the whole thing just collapses inwards on itself.
No picnic, I did it.
Well, I finished one ear.
Yeah, no, I just got done setting stuff. I did some paperwork first.
Oh.
I guess lunch can wait. All right. So, in the hole, I guess.
In the hole.
Indeed.
That's a fun way of phrasing that. So, as you guys begin to traipse your way in, how many of you have dark vision?
I do not.
Oh, I don't.
I am a dragonborn.
Do you?
I think
While you were
tieflings
checking
do.
that, we get to do a fun little thing here called draw on the map. Here we go. 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I've got vision.
Oh, I do.
I do not.
Look at that.
I do not. Hey,
think
look
you
at
did.
us go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I do have,
Do we have
though?
torches?
Light spell.
Ah, there we go.
somebody brought it. All right. So, as you guys look down into this hallway, you see this sort of small room revealed here. All of you can see the map, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So, you see this sort of small room revealed here. What sort of walking order are you guys going to be going in?
I can go first.
Okay.
Oh, here. I'm gonna touch one of your swords and light it up with a light spell.
Thank you.
So you have this sort of like torch thing going forth. So you kind of shine it in
Lightsaber.
deeper into the room. The first thing that you see as you walk in is this sort of pillar of thick mud that's sort of just up in the middle of the room.
I see.
And as you kind of like stick your other sword into it, the one without light, this one's considerably more loose, and it seems to be sort of spilling down and filling into the room.
Would the pit of mud be above us?
Roughly around there, yes.
Gotcha.
Oh. I'm suffocated, but now then. Yeah.
Where does the mud go? Is it just spilling onto
It
the floor?
spills kind of like out into the floor, and you see, as you kind of shine it along these walls here, you see there's these sort of almost like pits designed, where there's like a drainage sort of thing where the mud sort of spills down into it.
See, okay.
Somehow it's being drained to somewhere, but it's so thin that you can't really tell, and the mud being cloudy doesn't help.
Gotcha. Do we want to go in?
I mean, and I think that's why we're here.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so he's going first. Who's going after him?
I will.
Okay.
I have night vision or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Dark vision.
Well, he has light, so you don't have to worry about that. So you going behind him next.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Oh, nice. I like this one.
All right. So, before we dive too much farther into this, we're going to have to cap it off here for this session. So, next time we're going to pick back up and continue this dungeon. Thank you all for tuning in to Red-Wolves and Ramparts. I've been Reace. That's been John. That's been Noah. That's been Jacey. That's been Trey. Thank you all for joining us.